Yes, there have been calls that the federal government should beef up security. This morning, I will be looking at this, the Plateau Massacre. I will be analyzing Nigerian security situation or architecture, because you want to know, we want to know what is the military doing, what is the government doing, what is the Nigerian police force doing to forestall this sad occurrence. And joining us all the way from Plateau State is the Police Public Relations in that state, DSP ALFRED ALABO. Good morning, PPRO. Good morning, PPRO. Okay, well, I will establish a fine connection with him, but right now in the studio, we have a public affairs analyst, Mr. SEGUN AYEGBUSI. You're welcome to the show.
It's a great pleasure having me.
Yeah, many thanks for coming.
Thanks, man.
Well, let's sink our teeth into it, the Plateau Massacre, analyzing Nigerian security situation. And like I did start with, that on Christmas Eve, this happened. And yes, tributes from everywhere, France, the UK, United States, even the UN, feel so concerned of this incident. Why now, particularly at a point where we feel we should have making headway, we should have making, much improvements in our security architecture?
Right, thank you so much. And moderator Odenkoma. Now, it's quite unfortunate that at this level of development, this sort of gory sites, saddening developments still occurs in this country. My first condolence goes to the governor of the state, the families of the deceased, the wounded, and wish them early recuperation. Now, this Plateau incident, this Plateau ugly incident, unfortunately, this is not the first of its kind. I think this is almost the third one, this is almost the third serious ones we have been witnessing in this country. And if at this level of our security architecture, we could see the finding ourselves wanting, as champion of Africa, it leaves much to be desired. Now the point is this, let's look at the genesis. What is the principal cause of this? Because I don't want to call it madness, because the situation where lives are wasted, precious life, because life itself is sacred and precious. How can some people decide to terminate life unconstitutionally, put people into hardship, gnashing of teeth, decimating a community, and the workforce brought to a lower security in Nigeria is becoming so worrisome and highly disturbing. Let's look at it critically. What is the problem of our security agencies, especially the police? Constitutionally, the police is an organization set up for internal security, right? Making sure that peace reigns supreme within the community, right? But at this particular level, we still continue to hear and have a very disturbing, agonizing, a pathetic news about the stages of life. Now, what is the problem with the police? The police going to, I didn't need to tell them that they are not well equipped. No, there are no problems facing the police. And the following aspect is that the present national security advisor to the president happens to have come from that particular constituency, in person of Malam Nubuan and New Ribadu, from that constituency. So they have no excuse. Now, in many saint land, even years, let's take a little dive, down to what is happening, in Gaza, between Israel and the Hamas. What is helping or aiding the evangelists, with all these level achievements, because of the what? Because of the connection, right, with information. How do you link what is on ground with what is anticipated? We have the, the DSS are there, the NMI are there. What is the principal function? Like that adage. You see, within the health balance, they say, look, prevention is better than cure. You know, it's better if you prevent an incident rather than what looking for a curative. Should incidents happen before we look for a way out? Upon all the colossal amount of money the government is putting into security, how do you explain it? Unfortunately, based on information at hand, police were notified earlier. They don't latest. They send emissaries to the police and other security agencies. The excuse they are giving is that the place is far. The distance, they were able to cover the distance. That's why the magnitude came to that level.
Okay, since you've talked about the police, let's shift attention to Plateau State now. I don't know if DSP ALABO can hear me.
I can hear you clearly now, my brother.
Okay, now.
Good morning and happy New Year.
Yes, we understand that, yes, sometimes there could be intelligence reports, for security breach. Were there intelligence reports? Because some persons in some quarters are of the opinion that there were intelligence reports and police really did not really act to guide against that killing that happened on the eve of Christmas. Is it true that you had intelligence report before the incident? And what did you really do to see that you nipped the incident in the bud?
Okay, we were giving, sometimes when things like this happen, you need to understand the topography of the area and what the place looked like. Barikin-Ladi, for example, is a very vast local government area. Now, when somebody gives you an information that they got an information that Barikin-Ladi, for example, will be attacked, then you need to go out and try to know which part of Barikin-Ladi is the place that is going to be attacked. So you see, the information sometimes is vague. If you make all your deployment around the whole of Barikin-Ladi, you may likely not touch every part of the area. Now, let me make one thing clear. These are cowards that go to unarmed people in a very bad terrain and cause this mayhem and just disappear, knowing that they can buy time. How long does it take to cause destruction? It won't take them 10, 20 minutes. They will do the nonsense that they want to do and they will leave. But when we get this information, we also, you see, one of the problems that we have is that people say things like the police are not doing anything, the military are not doing anything. I can tell you for sure that the Operation Safe Haven operation that is commanded by the Commander 3D and the Operation Safe Haven commander, that operation has its men in a lot of villages within this area in Barikin-Ladi and in Bokos where this incident happened. But sometimes when we get vague information like that, we now struggle. We have to depend. The citizens are the source of our information. They are the source of our intelligence. So when we don't get accurate intelligence as to where something is going to happen, there may be issues here and there. But on this particular incident, we got information, we went in, and it will interest you to know that this incident was happening simultaneously in over 30 villages and communities.
Now, okay.
Yes. Yes.
It was said.
Yes. And our men, excuse me.
No, it's still.
Okay.
And our men, yes, and our men responded. If not, it would have been more than this. These people sometimes, like if you hear Barikin-Ladi, Barikin-Ladi is a town. In Barikin-Ladi itself and in Bokos town itself, nothing happened there. Sometimes they go 30 minutes away from town, 2 hours away from town, 1 hour away from the town, knowing that it will take security time to get there. And one thing you should also know, criminals will not tell you that they are going to go and do attack. So sometimes they will try to catch us by surprise. But we too will do our work to ensure that they don't get us by surprise. But this one was one too much. That is why we are acting very swiftly. And we acted, that is why the death toll did not get beyond what it is as we speak.
Talking about death toll, have you been able to put a figure to the number of people that lost their lives on the day of Christmas?
By our record, you know, a lot of them, I think as at the time we got the first information, it was about 60-something that we got that have lost their life. While some people were taken to the hospital, some died in the hospital, some died while they were escaping, and we just later discovered their bodies. So as I speak to you now, I think there are over 96 to about 115 or thereabout. And some people are, so because they came to tell us that some people that were missing, we discovered that now that they are in the hospital receiving treatment. Some went to other local governments to go and receive treatment. So we are still trying to put a number of the figure as we keep getting more revelations. Like the people that were in the hospital, I think they were, as at the time we went to Jute and the hospital in Bokos, we got 6 persons admitted in Bokos, while we got, as at the time, we got 36 admitted in Jute. But later yesterday, we discovered that there were about 49 of them in Jute and another 4 in Plateau Hospital, making them a total of 59 persons injured, receiving treatment as we speak.
Now, if truly, I mean, you have talked about the fact that no less than, I mean, the figures are between 90 and 115, I mean, according to what you have said, even though many persons over the years have said, I mean, whatever figures that the authorities release, it is actually short of what exactly happened. But we are going to go by the figures that you have given us. But looking at the figures that you have given us, one would actually imagine, I mean, the number of the assailants, the number of the bandits or the unscrupulous elements that went to perpetuate this heinous crime. And one would actually know that they cannot be less than 30 persons who went to perpetrate this heinous crime in these places. Now, and you talked about the fact that there are, I mean, policemen, security agents in all of these places. Are we saying that these security agencies did not notice strange movements of people? Didn't they increase their surveillance? We know that Christmas, New Year, or festivities like that, there used to be high level of criminalities. Didn't they increase their surveillance?
And also, adding to that, Amnesty International alleged that this gunmen operated for over 48 hours unhindered, that they operated for about 2 days, you know, and no security, no agency or agents came to the rescue of the people, and the army responded that the terrain is very, very rough.
Now let me give us a good understanding of what actually happened. On that 24th, when the thing started, our men responded, the army responded, the police responded. Now these people were still with their arm and they were escaping. They were escaping all through 25th and also on the 26th. While they were escaping and they have their arms, did you think that they will allow anybody to arrest them? So if Amnesty International is saying they operated for about 2 hours or thereabout,
48 hours.
I think this 48 hours, I think this explains it. Of course, when they are running and their own life too are in danger from what we are going to give them, they started escaping and they started firing. And it is this firing that took on the next day, and we were responding and we were looking for a way to get them arrested. And as I speak to you, some arrests have been made already. Yes, some arrests have been made and investigation is ongoing. So people should get their facts right before they start saying, you know, what I would say here as a professional will be different from what a layman can understand on the street. I'm talking about getting information. Or if the police, we did visibility policing, we sent our men out, patrol has been increased on the plateau. In fact, I can tell you that the kidnap rate on the plateau reduced this year, and last year, 2023, it reduced by 60 to 65%. Kidnapping rate on the plateau. That's to tell you that we are doing a lot with other security agencies, the quasi security agencies, outfits that are assisting the police in security. Now, let me go back to intelligence. The people are the source of our intelligence. If these people pretend and come to their society, it is the people that are supposed to first of all know the people. Because these villages that we are talking about villages sometimes that are just about 500 or about 3,000 people. So sometimes they know the people that enter into their villages newly. We have been telling them, please report. On a monthly basis, I publish the phone number of the area commanders, the DPOs, and my phone number for people to use this number to tell us things that they are seeing in their community and they have high suspicion of. So when things like this happen in the community and we don't get to know this, sometimes things like this are inevitable. So in policing is a give and take. The community must also know their roles to give us information on time. And we are not saying until you hear the first gunshot. Immediately you see people, you see a vehicle in your community that you don't know why they are there. You see people coming into your community with barriga, wearing long, and you know that they are not a member of your community. Let me tell you what happened that led to one of the arrests. A Fulani guy saw another Fulani guy that he did not know in their community. Immediately, having the phone number of the DPO, called the DPO, that guy was arrested. And he is now a suspect who has been suspected to have committed or perpetrated this crime with his fellows. This is what we are talking about. This kind of information before anything happens is what will help us. So it is not just the responsibility of the police to do these things, because we cannot even militarize our society where you will see police in your bedroom, you open your door, you see police, you see soldiers. That is not how a civilized society operates. But when you are living in your society, doing your business, you are supposed to inform us anytime you see something that you suspect. There was a kidnapping that was squared on the plateau here, where somebody saw somebody parked a vehicle for about 3 to 4 hours. The man came out from his shop, he has been looking at this guy, and he discovered that this is not normal. Immediately, he called us. We arrested that person and recovered arms from them, which means they were waiting for their target. And this is the role, this is the give and take role. So it's not just the job of the security agency, it's all of our jobs. When you see something, you say something, and you will get action.
Okay. From some of the information that you have access to, what would you say is responsible for the attack on Christmas Eve? Does it have to do with religion? Does it have to do with ethnicity? Is it a reprisal attack? I mean, how would you describe it? What's the cause?
We can't really place a hand on any reply. These are just bandits, because in some of the places where they attack, they also stole. You understand? They burn properties, they stole properties. They are just bandits trying to cause mayhem and looking for unsuspecting Nigerians to harm. And they are criminals. They are criminals. Whether you are doing it in form of a reprisal, which should be investigated, whether you are doing it, but there is nothing like a religious war in that part of Plateau. I can tell you that because I'm the PPRO of Plateau State. There was nothing like a religious clash, because anytime something like this happened, people want to frame it that it's religious clash. There was nothing like farmer-elder clash, because farmer-elder clash, it has to happen between a farmer and a elder, either in a farm or somewhere. So these things are not these people are just criminals. We are investigating, and when we get to the root of it, we will make it known to the public.
Okay. Well, DSP, has any group taken responsibility, for this massacre?
No group are taking responsibility, and any group that will come out to take responsibility of this is a criminal, and we are going to get them.
Okay,
it's just a matter of time.
Going forward, what will you do differently in forestalling these sad incidents.
And to add to that, can you also give us an imagery of what's really happening right now in those local governments? Has peace been restored? Are people going about their activities without fear and hindrance now?
Yes, talking about what we will do differently, I think you asked, what have we done? And I think that's the second question. The second question just covered the first one. The Inspector General of Police, you remember, came to Plateau State, and on his visit to Plateau State, he actually came with an intervention squad that has been deployed, and that is why you see arrests is being made. A lot of things has been done differently, and the Inspector General of Police promised the state government and the people of Nigeria and the people of Plateau that this will never happen under his watch again, not even only in Plateau, in all other parts of the country. So we have deployed men. Our operational asset is here. Men have been deployed from the 4th CID to join the Commissioner of Police. The AIG Zone 4 has been dispatched to Plateau State to head this operation. And we have been doing a lot of this, and we have been achieving a lot of results. Names have been given by members of the community. We should have loved these names to be given to us before this incident. But names have been given to us, and we are working on those names. And I can assure you, this will not be business as usual. A lot of things have been done differently. And if you like, maybe when I have the time, I will show you when some journalists came to our office to do inspection of the deployment, and the assets, and inspected some of the operational logistic assets that was sent in by the Inspector General of Police. So a lot of things have been done, and more will still come. And let me also tell you, more men are being deployed to Plateau to ensure that we nip it in the bud.
Now, okay, we are still going to stay with you, because you are the one right there in Plateau, and you are part of those who are ensuring that people in Plateau sleep with their 2 eyes closed. So give us an idea of what's happening as peace finally restored. Are people going about their activities in Plateau, in those local governments? Are people going about their activities?
People are going about it. In fact, the feelers I'm getting from the citizens, members of the public, even some government officials, that this is one of the swiftest response that they have received in any case like this in history. And that the Inspector General of Police, that means he visited Plateau twice in a particular year, and it will interest you to know that the Plateau State is also dear to the Inspector General of Police, because this was where he started his police job, and he is not happy with what he's saying, because this was not what he left when he was leaving Plateau. So he has done all he's supposed to do, and people have been going about their lawful businesses, and the citizens are happy with the deployment. They are seeing the patrol. In fact, some people are even complaining that the level of security in their community has made it look like as though they are in prison. I say, no, you are not in prison. It is for your protection. It is for your protection. So massive deployments have been made, and I'm telling you, people are happy for it, and they will be better for it. We condone very seriously with the families that lost their loved ones, and even those that are still looking for some of their loved ones. And I can tell you, Plateau State will be the best for it.
Now let's come to this.
DSP, there are already talks of establishing community, policing, or maybe something close to state policing, so that the people could also be involved in the protective measures. Is this a welcome development for the police? Will you take this up?
When you talk of community policing is what we have been operating. When I talk about policing, it's a give and take from the security agencies to members of the public. That is community policing. In fact, we want a situation where all our citizens, we have a certain level of understanding of policing. You know, I'm a police officer. Policing is all our business. When you send your children to school, you are policing them to be better citizens. When you take them to church, you are policing their spiritual life. You know, so it's also the same thing in our society. Policing means being watchful and ensuring that things is being done according to law and order. So if everybody will come into this, it will be better. But for us on the plateau, we have our local hunters and our professional hunters. We have our VGN members. We also have community policing outfits that was created by the that came up through the auspices of the police community relations angle. That's talking about the neighborhood watch on the plateau here, and this us bringing this together. And on the government side, they have an outfit called the Operation Rainbow, and it's just we are working with all these outfits to make sure that the community policing system work. And it will interest you to know that most of these quasi-security agents, they are just doing it pro bono. You know, they leave their jobs and come and join us and assist us in policing our community. And we want everybody to know that it's all our responsibility. If you have a shop and in front of your shop you notice something unusual, please call us. Inform us. Inform us. Don't wait till they fire the first shot. Just inform us. If the person is angry, we will tell him sorry. We will apologize to him. But he should come and report these things to us. So community policing is not even, I can't even say it's a welcome idea, because it's what we are already doing. And we need more effort and more help from members of the public.
Let us come to the studio now to our guest, Mr. SEGUN AYEGBUSI. Now, the Governors Forum in North Central actually paid a condolence visit on Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State yesterday. And right there, it was said that the North Central governors have plans now to come up with a security cooperation, probably to do something together in terms of securing this area. Do you think this will go a long way in helping to stem some of the insecurity that we've witnessed in that area? And don't you think it's even long overdue?
Now, the point is this. You know, that particular idea they are not trying to phantom cannot be sustained. Let's try and be honest to ourselves. I quite appreciate the sayings of the PPRO, the PPRO. To me, they are mere rhetorics for an average Nigerian. Because if you try to analyze all what I just said, I've not seen any cogent points, that one can hold substantially to. Now you were informed about this massacre. You got information. On having information and you have the other state commands around you, you refuse to act. You are trying to lay, you are trying to lay excuses on the topography of that particular area. Now, during the time of census, they will go there at least and make counting of census.
During elections?
Exactly, elections. They conduct elections there. What sort of excuses are they giving? We are talking about lives. Now, assuming that they are incapacitated, right? They have short, right? And they are not shortage of manpower. What distorts them, right? At least in the making of helicopter, I get, that's in real countries, where lives are held precious. See America. If the level for an average American, just when American is at stake, they put everything they have into making sure that the lives do not get wasted. Now, there's no helicopter parading. That's on ground. You got information there, you could not connect. Right? Then, the military, and I doubt if there's any state in this country that does not have the military command, you will call for reinforcement. All these excuses you need, look at that number. And I'm so happy about your statement. This is one of the problems we have, trust deficit. But not honest. Honesty, as escape out of this country. Let's put the first on the table. See, they'll give you the exact figure of the losses. Now, based on the question you just asked, right, the governors coming together, at the end of the day, they come to commiserate, with the family of the Now, coming now, and that is, I mean, I appreciate the point you lay emphasis on, at least regarding the police, the policing. I mean, I'm talking about the state policing. See the escapist route, the PPRO explained to you. State policing is quite different, from the one you have just analyzed. When each state, I think it has dawned on us now that state policing is very critical. You know, it's not jamming, it must have been there. Okay, now, like Ogun State, which we are, the state policing there. The state policing is going to be manned, by the indigenous of the state. Who know the topography of the area there, right? And they are well known within the community. How do you be so, somebody from Samfara down to Ogun State, before the president, started to master, right? It will take a lot of time. Exactly. A lot of damage will have happened. But where an indigenous is there, it can be curtailed. Right, because the family members are there on ground, right? Then the community leaders, because before he or she can be recruited, I think the community leader have to authenticate or endorse, his candidature, right? The forms there. So they know much about themselves. They know him very much. So from there, the state police is very so the one they are trying to phantom may not work, except the state police. He
talked about hunters, having hunters association that have always over time.
Is it the legitimate? Is it the constitutional organization or it's about the constitution? Please, I'm sorry to draw attention to this. You can remember the Amotekun. Before Amotekun, he's granted permission. Oh goodness! Kudos to Leta. You know, they fought tooth and nail to make sure he came to the flag government refused them at the initial stage. The Attorney General refused.
Yes.
They say that, and whereas in the north, they have something similar, which is operating, funded and supported by the government.
But what about the fears, before I go back to the PPRO, with state policing could be hijacked, by some state governments. If state policing comes on board, they may not be able to use sophisticated weapons, just like you talked about Amotekun now, but there are also limitations in their operation, in the arms they could carry.
Now, I give you the kudos. You see, the point is, let's go back in retrospect. When people talk about the word abuse, is the present state of police is not being abused by the federal government? Now, you see, in the years past, during the period of, during the Western region, right? When I was in the premiership period, the Northern region, Western region, and Western region, it was abused, right? Because we are then using the republic. Don't forget, we are not using president system. We play system. The president is both the head of state and head of government. He has the executive power, and that's why he has the veto. No, under parliamentary system, there's no veto for the president. But under he has the veto. He has the extreme power, uncheckable power. Now, during that polling period, right, it was, each of the regions were autonomous, Western region, and they used it against their opponents, right? Now, each of them there, you see, because we have the political party, we were then crude. I'm sorry to use the word, yes, per se. Now, like the AG, Action Group, the National People's Congress, at least, and the SCNC, right? It was, because the fierce tension there was high. And don't forget the fact because we really had independence. So the maturity was not on ground, right? Because that's what some of the exploits I will all use, right? Because it was educated, right? So majority of them, they are not as privileged as that. So the few that were educated, the elites, they took advantage of it there to abuse it. But now, the judiciary, there's no way abuse will not come up. And that's why we have the judiciary there, have to continue the SSs, right? But because there must be limitation, like the Motagu now, it's not a constitutional provision, it's a privilege. But where is the threat to the constitution? Automatically, they must be funded by the government, right? They must be monitored, and they have to be properly regularized, legitimately regularized. Like the police now, it's a conventional organization, right? It's a legitimate organization. Motagun is not legitimate as constitution. So you were just a privileged body. It's just like what you have here. Please, I'm sorry, what's the name of this man in Ogun State here?
Okay, I'm talking about the so safe.
So safe. It's not the safe. Who is so safe? Is it a government by the government? Is it a government by the constitution?
Well,
so except the state policing is to change the constitution, right? Giving legitimacy and the power to carry arms and other paraphernalia of offices and the privileges.
Well,
nobody is giving that. So please, we need it at this point in time.
Let's go back to the PPRO, because I know we may have to release you very soon. But what's the synergy between the Nigerian Police, Plateau State Command, the Army, the NSCDC, and other paramilitary agencies? Is there a joint operation? How cohesive is this synergy?
Yes, like I told you, we have the Operation Safe Haven operation on the Plateau, which is a joint operation with all security agencies. That one is there going on. We also have the Operation Rainbow that is being sponsored by the state government. And you have all paramilitary agencies and the police in that arrangement. And also, we have, I told you, we have the Hunters Association, the Neighborhood Watch, and also the VGN that have been assisting us in this work. Talking about synergy with all these agencies that I've mentioned, the synergy is beautiful. We have been working together. We have been sharing resources and information together. So our synergy is tight, and we are working together to ensure the peace on the Plateau. And that is why I tell you, there are a lot of results. This is just one of a major setback that is trying to placate all our successes. And talking about my fellow discussant and say he has not seen anything that we have done, but I won't blame him. If he was talking as somebody who has been on the field, or if he was a military personnel, or a retired police officer or something, or a true security expert, I think we will not even have much to argue here. And I'm not here to argue. I'm just here to talk about the security solutions that has been provided, what we have been doing on the Plateau, the successes we have recorded despite this particular one. And I said something, arrests have been made. You didn't hear that. It's not a sleeping security agency that will do that. You saw the actions that the Inspector General of Police took. He was talking about state police. I will not put my voice to that. It's mainly on the political front as we speak, and I'm not a politician. I'm a security agency. If the government deem it fit to get state police, or to pass it in to make it a part of our constitution, then it stands. But it's not for me to discuss that. What I'm telling you is that we have provided something even better. Community policing. The community policing is being operated by the indigenes of those places. The local government, the person, in fact, we have the special constabulary, which was selected and recruited by the community for the police to train and send back to those communities, and they are also helping the efforts of the police. They have all the powers of the police within their community, and they are operating. So my friend should please check his facts, go through our activities, check our website and see what we are doing as regards policing effort. And I bet you, I believe you will appreciate what we are doing.
Now, DSP, thank God you've talked about the fact that you have very, very cordial relations, working relations with other sister security agencies in the state. But over time, we have heard, people also talk about the fact that when killings like this happen, there is definitely a saboteur among the security agencies, that the security agencies at some point could be complicit. Have you noticed anything of such in your operations, particularly in your investigation to what transpired on Christmas Eve?
You know, a lot of people we have their opinions. For example, when two vehicles have an accident, and the first thing you hear is because you stop, is because you are speeding and all that. Everybody will bring their opinion to particular issues. But what I would say to such kind of persons is that if you know any saboteur among us, because if we know them, you know that the Nigerian police is one of the organizations that discipline public officers among us that has misbehaved publicly, you should note that no other security agency does it better than the Nigerian police force. So I can assure you, if we get anything of such, a saboteur among us, that person will be made to face the wrath of the law. But for a very long time, we have not gotten anybody like that in our midst, and we thank God for it. I cannot speak for any other security agencies, so maybe when you get their own spokespersons, you can ask them if they have such, but I've not heard of any such saboteurs. Yes, we see a lot of things on the media. You know, nowadays that there's Android phone, everybody is a journalist and a cameraman. Every human being can take a video, edit it the way they like, and say what they want to say. But when you are really talking fact, if you know that there is a saboteur among us, come forward to us and report him and see what we'll do with that saboteur. But I'm telling you authoritatively on the plateau, we don't have anybody sabotaging our efforts. And if we do, you will be the first to know because you see it on the news.
Now, you have told us that the deployment has increased in terms of personnel in the last
more personnel, more men are coming.
Happened,
yeah,
in Plateau, but we know that this deployment will not be there forever. I'm talking about the level or the amount or the number will not be there forever. At some point, a need for them to be moved away would actually arise, and they will eventually be moved away. And then don't forget that these assailants, they capitalize on security breach, all of those weaknesses, gaps, and the rest of them. What are you really doing to ensure that we don't witness something similar again? What interventions are you looking towards in terms of technology? Because we know that sometimes some unmanned areas can actually be manned. Security can go a long way in helping to provide real-time information and also, nipping some of these things in the bud. What are you doing in the area of security from your end and even from the police hierarchy?
Okay. When the Inspector General of Police came into power, he made it known to Nigerians that he is establishing a 1,000-man intervention squad in all the states. And this intervention squad, they are to stay there and watch for any eventuality. And out of the first 10 pilot states, Plateau State is one of the pilot states that this intervention team is supposed to operate from. So Plateau State have gotten, it has been piloted here already by this deployment, and it was something that was supposed to be launched properly, but as it is now, it has been launched. There is no ceremony for it because the criminals are not waiting for your ceremonies. So we have deployed it, and it will stay. It is a 1,000-man intervention squad. The intervention squad has come to stay to ensure that Plateau State will continue to remain peaceful.
Okay. Well, DSP.
Let's
remember that December.
Let's tell the viewers that.
Well, the phone line is on the screen. Can also be part of this conversation. We have in the studio Mr. SEGUN AYEGBUSI, and of course the police public relations officers, Plateau officer rather, Plateau State Commander DSP ALFRED ALABO. Yes, back to you, DSP. It was also reported that a father and his son were killed by gunmen at Dombi village in Shera district in Jos East local government area of Plateau State. That was after this massacre. I know that yes, people fled these villages. So what are you telling them right now? How will you ensure they come back? Because they are fierce.
I would say that is a misinformation and a disinformation going on right there. What actually happened was that in that Shera district there is a home where a man was pointed out to be kidnapped by some four men. So long and short, is a case of kidnap attempt on a particular young man who, before his death, I want to talk about his bravery here, who haven't informed the DPO Angwari, that's the DPO in Justice, that some people are in his house. So while we were responding, and the assailants saw our vehicle coming in, they tried to run away. But this brave young man that was talking about the disease, the man now deceased, tried to arrest one of the kidnappers by himself. And he held him tight, and the assailants of the accomplice of the kidnappers shot the both of them dead because they couldn't take him, and he has already captured one of their men. So they shot him, and in the process, the bullet hit the man that they came to kidnap, and his father, and an 80-year-old man.
Hold your thoughts, please. It seems we have a caller, Adejare from Agbara. Yes, good morning, Mr. Adejare.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, same to you.
I want to put two more contributions. So I want to talk to your visitor after the program. The only thing they can do is that they deploy all the soldiers to their local government, origin. That's the only way out to capture all the terrorists. So let me talk to the man or your district after the program to discuss better. Please.
Well, you have the right to ask your question now. I don't think, but we can relay that to him right now. Yes.
Deploy the only way out. Deploy all the soldiers to their state of origin and their local government origin.
Well, that's not something you can answer.
That's the only way out.
Well, that's not within his purview. But many thanks, Mr. Adejare.
Send the message up. Deploy all the soldiers to their origin, or state of origin, from origin, state of origin to their local government.
I heard it loud and clear.
Everything will come down.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Adejare.
Bye-bye.
Yes, all right, let's, DSP, before the call came in, you know, you were talking about, you know, restoring confidence, you know, in the people, and that reports that a father and his son were killed. Quite, you know, it has nothing to do.
Yes, it has nothing to do with an. Yes, it is not an attack.
You've not learned that. You could continue.
Yes, it's not an attack on any village. It's a kidnap attempt that was foiled, even by the person that they tried to kidnap. But it was just unfortunate that having seen our DPO approaching them, they had to kill their man and kill the father and the son in that particular dastardly manner. And by the grace of God, some items were recovered that we aid our investigation. And I can also tell you, we are very close to the kidnappers. We are very close, and just watch out for our press release and our press brief. You see us parade them by the grace of God.
And of course, restoring confidence. You know, I asked, I mean, what are you telling the people? And how are they taking your message for those that have fled these communities, understandably, you know?
Yes, in fact, some of them have started going back to their villages. Let me tell you that. Some of them have started going back to their villages because the Inspector General of Police, in his wisdom, never wanted them to just desert their village. That is why the intervention arrangement was very swift. So a lot of them are going back to their villages, seeing that police security personnel have flooded the area and they are safe. But we don't want it to be as though they are being kept in a prison where they are guarded by security personnel. We want their life to be restored back to normal, and they go about their lawful businesses. And that is what we are doing. I can't be here talking about restoring peace. You just need to go to Barikin Ladi, Bokos, LGA, Urium, and Mangu. When you go there and you see what is happening there, you can even walk out 1 a.m. in the morning in those communities, knowing that you are safe and security personnel are everywhere. So we are ensuring that all of them go back to their villages. And while the government too is doing a whole lot concerning the restoring these Nigerians back to their original land and their villages. So we are all working together to see that this is done.
Let me come to you, Mr. Ashego. Do you think the average Nigerian has the right amount of security education? Okay, we have Umoru calling from Abeokuta. Umoru, good morning. What's your thoughts,
good morning. That's Dominic Agbera. Good morning, Dominic Agbera, and a happy new year. Good morning to you, Mr. Jewumi, the ageless Mr. Jewumi. First and foremost, Mr. Jewumi, you are looking therapy. I am happy that I have landed safely. When I mean I've landed safely, I know what I'm talking about. Everything about the police in this country is usually highlighted. As far as for time, Mr. Jewumi and Dominic Agbera, I'm talking from an avalanche experience. I am retired police PSP. As far as I'm concerned, the police are doing what is experience of this. But one thing is Plateau I need to say. But one thing I can say, people that did this shooting and killing at that place, Badike, what is it called? They are human beings. They didn't come from heaven, not of putting adequate information. So the people to people, if what is intended against some of the progress of this achievement. And again, Plateau is, I think, when you want to go and fight an issue like this, Mr. Jeremy, MAPA have to be there, West have to be, Tampa have to be. What is the medical strength of Nigeria police force we have in Plateau State? So as far as I'm concerned, they are doing their best. Who would touch the fingers first? Carry the day. Then, Mr. Jeremy, if I come to Abeokuta and say, hey, with 2 AK-47, I'm fully loaded, I can overrun the whole of Abeokuta. So, who would touch the fingers first? Carry the whole day. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, thanks for your contribution, Mr. Umoru. Now, let's come to you. I mean, do you think we have the right amount of security education to be able to collaborate with security agencies and give them, I mean, because he has said, the DSP has talked about the fact that the people are major sources of intelligence when it comes to securing their immediate community. Do you think we have the right amount of education?
Now, thank you so much, please. Now, the point is this. When they say education, the word education there, is an abstract word. 30 things are very fundamental. One, somebody already mentioned it there. The police are overwhelmed. Whatever the level of education you give the citizenry, the police are overwhelmed, right? There's need to increase, the strength of the police. Then two, the logistics they are working on. You want to tell me that, see, the point is the police, they are human beings as well. Mm-hmm. If you see these kidnappers, the marauders, if you see the sophisticated guns they have on them, it's not a match with that of our police. So, we all know that. Because life is precious to everybody. So the equipment they have there is obsolete. It's not. Then the third one again is what? You see, the image of the police. They need to work on that. The point is, we have instances, maybe we have vital information. But the fear of going to the police to submit the information there, because at the end of the day, right, if the person you are reporting, right, has a better connection than you, I'm telling you there. I mean, there are instances abound. So, that fear, that phobia of loss of confidence, they tell us that the police is your friend. Yes, it's true. On paper, police is your friend. If you are privileged to have an encounter with the police, of course, please let's put that aside. Now, so that the synergy, you mentioned the word synergy there. We have the DSS, the army. See, what taught them to collaborate? Once there is synergy, between them, the other command there, there are entry points, to every town or villages. At the end of every town there, definitely, the people are stationed, each of the organizations are stationed there.
We have another call.
Then, again, we have the walking talkie. Okay, sorry.
Chief Lebi from Omuaro.
Good morning, what are you doing?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, what are you doing? My own contribution on the topic is this. we discovered that
let me come to you, PPRO. I mean, some of the callers and even I guess in the studio talked about the fact that the police personnel could be overwhelmed.
But we discovered that yes. I said my own contribution this month.
Okay, can I respond?
I said my own contribution to the issue we are discussing now is that the international nation is mainly the responsibility of the Nigerian police. The Nigerian army to defend the state, there is the issue. But each time we have some of these issues occurring, the soldiers are usually deployed. The question I want to ask the police officers there is that how effective are the Nigerian police equipped? If you go to any village or community, you have police station, police posts in almost every village from different villages, you see police stations there. If the police are properly equipped and they have necessary ammunition, materials that they can be used to combat terrorism as required, it becomes very easy for any village or community when there is any attack to make a call to the nearest police post. If they have enough equipment to be able to move around, so the time when these things happen, the police will not respond as the moment because they don't have enough equipment to go and confront those people. And that is why when such calls are being made, sometimes they will not respond because of one reason or the other. Either they will begin to either call one area or the other to be able to mobilize themselves. So I want to suggest that the Nigerian police force to actually be properly equipped. Let them have a nursing machine or other things which is normally used to combat terrorism in almost every 100 kilometers where they have police posts. So in case there's any problem, people will be able to respond appropriately. Before today, before now, you know that before, during the military government, before the military took over government in Nigeria, Nigerian police were properly equipped. So the extent that of nations, if there's coup d'etat, police are trained that they can fight coup. But because of the issue of the security complex or here and there, in some situations where certain ammunition that are supposed to be able to give it to the police are not often restricted. And so they should try to work in synergy and make sure that every community and villages have the police there, have the required equipment that will make them to work for them. The Air Force and these five forces that were set aside certain time. In the period when the Nigerian police have this mobile force, you discover those mobile police men that are effective. When you see them in their long truck and they are moving on the road, they provide services, they can give them special training. So I want to say that government can bring in all these
kind of let the PPRO respond to, let him respond to some of the, I mean, it's also in sync with what I intended asking, and our guests in the studio and previous callers have talked about it. Is the police truly overwhelmed? I mean, particularly in your command there, do you have enough logistics really to prosecute, to ensure security of lives and property over there in that place?
Okay. When we are talking, I would like to attack it this way. When we're talking about being overwhelmed, if I have 10 people and I'm the only police officer there, and these 10 people know about my operation, know about my authority, and when I say stop because of the authority that I bear, and they answer me and they stop and they relate with me the way they are supposed to relate with me, I will never be overwhelmed with those 10 people because they have the right education about my operations and they know when I'm saying something, and I'm not saying it as Mr. ALABO, and I'm saying it as a police officer. Now, this is the side of this is the side I want to take. Sometimes, you know, when you get a society where everybody understands the police and know the police operations, you cannot be overwhelmed in that kind of arrangement. Now, there is also the physical need for police officers when certain events happen. Sometimes, depending on where you are and depending on what is happening and depending on the number of personnel that you have, you could be overwhelmed. But it's not in all cases that we are overwhelmed. Talking about logistics arrangement, you know, logistics, it changes over time. And there are times that, and it differs from the terrain that you are doing your police work. Like if you go to where I come from in Bayelsa, you will see, you have to deal with a lot of water there. If you come to Plateau, you deal with coal, and if you go to the southern zone, you deal with heavy heat, and you also deal with rocks. So the terrain sometimes will determine the kind of logistics that you need. Now, talking about me on the Plateau here, do we have all the necessary logistics that we need to operate? I will tell you no and yes, because we have a lot of logistics that we are using, but there could be more. There could be more, and if you have more to choose from when you have different operations, it makes the work for the policeman, for the police personnel, very easy. And if you also have all the logistics, or even reduce logistics, but you have a very highly educated people that understand what security, that are educated on your basic role as a security officer, I think the talk of being overwhelmed will not be an issue in that particular regard. And somebody also talked about fear of giving police information. And I think that it's because we are talking about this fear too much. That is why people believe that it is there. A lot of people call me and give me information. Before I came to the office today, about 3 to 4 persons have called me that they would like to see me. And as I talk to you now, they are waiting for me to see me, to give me certain information. Nobody is going to arrest you for giving information. There are ways to give information to the police. If you want to know, meet any of our PPRO nationwide. They will advise you on what to do. There are people that come to report cases. You can't say they are giving information. There are people that give information that they don't want to be part of the operations of the police, but their information is accurate and is correct. So citizens must learn to know when to give information. And I want to clear the air here. There are some people that come to police station to report a case. When you come to a police station, physically report a case, give a statement, you may be called back to come and give further evidence in the court of law. That does not mean that the police, yes, that does not mean that the police want to stress you. And this is what a lot of people refer to as stress. That's why you see people will witness a vehicle incident, and the police will try to bring you to speed. Oga, please, you saw what happened here. They will say, I don't want to, I don't see anything. You understand? And you think when you do things like this, you will still come back and blame the police for the action that you deliberately take. And the police will not force you to come and say anything you want to say. But you saw it. You saw what happened there. But you are afraid that because there are processes that you will follow. Nigerians, some of us should love to follow process. We should love process. Process is very important in what we do. If you come to police station to report a case, it is a report, hence you must give statement, and you will be called as witness in court. That's not me stressing you. That is you, the process that you start as a good Nigerian. That is what we are calling you to come and assist us to finish. Now, if you want to give me an information that you saw some people smoking behind so person's house, that's a passing information. You give me, you go, and I take action. They will not know how I come, and they will not know how I got my information. So we must get these things separated. There is no fear in giving the police information. We are begging you to give us information. And if you don't give us, we will be weak when it comes to intelligence gathering.
Well, many thanks, PPRO. That was very profound. Well, we've run out of time, but we must thank you, especially for, bringing up to speed with the operation, and we wish you the best of luck as you continue to try and bring these people to book, and you've assured us that as such will not repeat itself. I do not envy you, PPRO, but thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, sorry, we've run out of time.
Yeah.
Now, please.
Quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the point is this. Now, I want to appeal onto the National Assembly. They should look critically into it, because if you look at, because it has political, economic, and social implications. Investors are frightening. Widows, widowers, orphans are created, right? The decimation of the manpower, right? Then the police should go back. 300, because they got almost half of them, are guards to politicians, and the respective IGs have appealed to them that they should discountenance them, they should go back. Unfortunately, they feel, and based on what the DSC said, what the man said, there's a statistic, there's a figure by the UNESCO a policeman to a particular population number of the citizenry, which Nigeria is not meeting. So telling us that we have enough personnel on ground, I think, but I believe we'll get there. But let the National Assembly, the police go seriously into this, into these critical issues, and look and try to avert, because it tells much of the future, right, of this country. The image of the country abroad is being bastardized or dented. So let's try our best we can avert it. It gives me a courage.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks
so much for having me.
Your
It's a
coming.
good pleasure.
That's the show this Wednesday. Dominic and I will be back again next Wednesday. But New Dawn continues on Friday with another set of anchors. Because Monday to while the Yoruba version comes up every Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.